Good afternoon and welcome to Oregon News. I'm Katie Oven.
And I'm Julian Massenburg. With economic recovery underway, local students are entering the workforce instead of Lane Community College classrooms. Enrollment has dropped by nearly a third. LCC President Mary Spiltz says the enrollment drop means a budget shortfall and it could get large enough to warrant layoffs of faculty and staff members in the coming months. Pepsi has cornered the market at the University of Oregon. Local Pepsi distributor Bigfoot Beverages has agreed to pay the University of Oregon $5 million over the next 8 years in order to become the university's primary drink supplier. They have also agreed to offer scholarships and internships to university students. This contract will give Pepsi exclusive pouring rights throughout campus. They'll also get more room in campus stores with a boost from 70% to 80% of cooler space. Primary elections are right around the corner for Oregon voters. On the May 20th ballot, voters will have a chance to nominate candidates for the governor and Senate seats, as well as elect Lane County officials in nonpartisan positions. Lane County Assessor candidate Michael Cowlis is running unopposed, as is Justice of Peace candidate Cindy Cable. They will automatically be named on the ballot for the general election in November. Current West Lane County Commissioner Jay Bozovich only has one opponent, Don Leslie. The most competitive race comes from East Lane County. There are 5 candidates on the ballot, including incumbent Commissioner Faye Stewart. Current Commissioner and former Springfield Mayor Sid Lyken is up for re-election against 2 opponents. Also on the ballot for Lane County are measures for the Fern Ridge and Pleasant Hill school districts. Both school districts are seeking bond funding for school renovations as well as technology and safety improvements. The Fern Ridge School District hopes to replace Elmira Elementary School with an expanded and renovated campus should the bond pass. The Pleasant Hill School District wishes to renovate sections of Pleasant Hills High School and Pleasant Hill Elementary. The last day to register to vote before the election is April 29th. For more information on the upcoming election, visit lanecounty.org and watch for our continued coverage in the coming weeks.
Coming up, the skateboarders in Eugene have been giving a big thumbs up for their new park. We'll take you on a tour.
And a geologist weighs in on the danger of mudslides in Lane County. We'll have that story after the break. I'll say the death toll is 39 in the devastating mudslide that hit Oso, Washington nearly a month ago. Here in Eugene, experts say a landslide is not an immediate threat, but it is a potential danger. Reporter Nick Nathaniels has more.
Fear, confusion, disbelief, heroism, generosity. Natural responses to a natural disaster. I'm standing at the peak of Skinner Butte, and behind me in the foreground you can see Autzen Stadium, but in the background you can see what local geologists are calling a potential hazard for a landslide, and that's the Coburg Hills. LIDAR readings suggest that this area has an activity within the past 200 years, but experts say don't panic, but be prepared. Yet it's easy for people to dismiss these natural disasters. Most landslides are relatively harmless, and the fatal ones happen too infrequently. According to Josh Roaring, a University of Oregon professor of geology, there are stark differences between the Oso mudslide and the potential of a Coburg Hills landslide.
We don't have that ingredient of glaciers damming rivers and creating big piles of sediments and lake deposits that are really, really weak. So that valley in Washington is a really bad sort of configuration of events. But we do have, these hills and mountains around us that are prone to landsliding, but just not as frequent and as likely as that one in Washington.
Building a nationwide system is possible with present technology, according to Roaring, but would require tens of millions of dollars annually in years to pass legislation, which is seen as impractical.
And so when you talk about the list of deadly landslides, the devil's advocate would say, well, look at the history of our country. This is the 3rd worst. How much money should we spend if it happens this infrequently and causes, a much smaller amount of deaths than horrible diseases and terrorism and other things?
And as of now, there is no state or national system that tracks threats from landslides. For Oregon News, I'm Nick Nathaniel.
Although there is no federally funded program for tracking landslides, you can check the state's landslide database, Slido. That's SLIDO. It has records of past and present landslide activity in Oregon. While the weather may be unpredictable from week to week, there's one thing that the people of Eugene can count on every Saturday. Rain or shine, the Saturday market is back in town from now until November. The market is open from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. every Saturday in downtown Eugene on the park blocks at 8th and Oak Street. There are over 800 active members in the Saturday market, and each week an average of 300 vendors can sell a wide variety of goods. The market is known for its festival atmosphere, craft booths, and great food vendors. If you haven't gone yet this spring, tomorrow is your chance to check it out. The Lane Dental Clinic recently opened their brand new facility at 24th and Willamette Street. The clinic offers a wide variety of dental services, including oral screening, x-rays, cleaning, and restorative services. There are 2 different programs available for students in the program. There's a 1-year dental assisting program and a 2-year dental hygiene program. The dental assisting program focuses on clinical side chair skills and prepares students for employment in all areas of dental assisting. The dental hygiene program prepares students for preventative, therapeutic, restorative, and educational interventions to promote optimal oral hygiene. Students who are enrolled in the programs provide care under provision of staff and local dentists. The patient pool is the community. The Lane Dental Clinic is open to anyone in need of dental care.
In fact, we're always looking for patients to come. Since we've moved over to this Willamette Street area, although we're more in the heart of Eugene, we've actually kind of lost our patient base because people don't know where we are.
No insurance? No problem. The clinic is seeking patients who fit this criterion.
That's the ideal patient because our costs are very low. They can do, right now our fee schedule is $40 for your cleaning. So they can come in and they can get evaluated, and what might cost them over $1,000 in an office, they can actually do it here for $40.
Features of the new clinic include a new radiology suite and additional x-ray rooms to speed up patient care. Jessica Ostrander is currently in her 2nd year as a dental hygiene student. Here's her word of advice for aspiring dental hygienists.
Unless you've been through the program, nobody can know how intense it is. It's really time demanding. You have to know your stuff and be really committed.
From Eugene, I'm Julian Massenburg with Oregon News. This may not look like an effort to ensure the safety of University of Oregon students, but it is. The UO Active Minds chapter held a bake sale in an effort to raise money for the club programs. For example, they have held workshops aimed at removing the stigma associated with mental health. One of their latest campus proposals is to try to get useful resource numbers added to the back of UO student ID cards.
So right now your student ID card is blank. We're saying that that's not right. Middle schools have numbers in the back.
Hotlines for sexual assault, Safe Ride, the Counseling Center, and Health Center are among the telephone numbers they would like to see on the card.
We've reached out to other schools such as UC Davis, PSU, Oregon State, and they have at least public safety numbers on the back of the ID card. And that's what we're asking. We're asking there's enough room to put lost and stolen information and also some resource numbers that students do use on campus on a regular basis.
The club is asking the University of Oregon to incorporate the changes on cards by fall 2014 so that incoming students will have the resource numbers readily available. Joe Woodruff, who supervises the ID card office, says the university is assembling a committee to consider the proposal. Woodruff says the university would need new printers to place numbers on the back of student ID cards, and the cost of that needs to be determined. From Eugene, Julian Massenburg, Oregon News. An estimated 1 out of every 4 people in Lane County is living with mental health issues. Numerous others have substance abuse problems. To provide treatment for these citizens requires cooperation between the many people and agencies working to alleviate the problem. So this week, district attorneys, Eugene and Springfield police officers, clinical behavior representatives, and other community stakeholders came together to map out their coordinated response. The process is called sequential intercept mapping, and there are high hopes for it.
We're really working collaboratively to try to figure out how to be a better system that gets people the right treatment, the right place, with the right teams. So it's really perfect opportunity for us because we've been coming together with a mental health summit, a consortium of people across the system already. And so this is just advancing us in our knowledge and skill set.
Dan Abreu and Norma Jager ran the workshop. The two are part of an organization entitled Policy Research Associates. Eugene has been chosen as one of 6 cities to receive the training. This workshop will allow continuity in treatment of mentally ill people throughout Lane County. This kind of a coordinated approach is important to the community because it is estimated that about 60% of Lane County inmates have behavioral or mental health diagnosis. In the view of Municipal Court Judge Mary Jane Morey, this week's training will aid their integration into society.
But there are a lot of people who are involved in our criminal justice system who, if given assistance, I, as a judge, will never see them again. And to me, that's success.
Julian Massenburg reporting for Oregon News. Summertime means summer visitors. If you're wondering how to entertain them, the region has a lot to offer. Here are some of the activities I've discovered around town. To many people, Eugene, Oregon is Tracktown, USA. But trust me, there's a lot more than ducks and trees in the great city of Eugene. It has a lot to offer for tourism and recreational activities. These days, wine tops the list of attractions. You can go to one of 11 area wineries. The climate in Eugene activates a region that's great for growing wine grapes. For example, Sweet Cheeks Winery is located just 25 minutes outside of downtown Eugene. The winery features a wide variety of wines and is a popular destination for tourists.
One guy said he had people bring him here immediately when he first moved to the area. So I know that people, not only do they just come here, but people bring other people here from out of town.
If wine isn't your thing, then feel free to take a hike or go bike riding. Eugene is home to more than 250 miles of biking and hiking trails. One popular destination is Spencer's Butte. The 2,058-foot elevation provides spectacular views from the Coast Range to the Cascades. Don't forget, every Saturday, rain or shine, you can find more than 300 vendors selling goods at the Eugene Saturday Market. The event is held in downtown Eugene at 8th and Oak Street. And Eugene does live up to its nickname, Tracktown, USA. You can certainly find track and field events. The Prefontaine Classic is headed back to Hayward Field on May 30th and 31st. You can witness some of the nation's best track and field athletes competing right here in Eugene. Julian Massenburg, Oregon News. Thanks for joining us for our newscast. We'll see you back next week.
Have a great weekend.
Take care. Goodbye.